Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pearls of Wisdom with Nirmal Bang. I'm Avan Dabash. Now, when you think of one word for the cement sector, I'm sure it's consolidation, especially the kind of deals and activity that we've been seeing going on off late. The calendar year 2023 alone saw five major deals taking place, with Ultratech Cement, of course, being one of the big ones. Apart from that, there were deals announced by the Adani Group, Dalmia Bharat, and so many more. So we want to understand what this means for some of the smaller players, the bigger players, what are the pricing trends within the sector, and what the outlook is as a whole. Joining in right now, we have Jyoti Gupta. She's research analyst, cement, defense, construction, and building materials at Nirmal Bang. Thank you so much for taking time out. And I just want to understand what the outlook is, because there's been so much consolidation that we've seen take place, lots of deals that we have seen brewing. What's your outlook in terms of what this leads to? Because I believe a lot of synergies, cost reduction, efficiency improvement, all of that is seen due to consolidation. Would you agree?
Thank you, Avan. So the industry consolidation will improve pricing discipline, synergies like cost improvement, efficiency improvement will enhance profitability in the long term. The acquirer will have access to ready-made capacity in limestone reserves, eliminating long-term gestation periods for organic capacity additions. Over the past 9 years, if you see, we have had roughly 15 mergers and acquisition deals, which is to be around approximately $80 per ton, which is higher than the replacement cost of plants and lower than the greenfield expansion capex. So typically, which underscores the cost advantage of capex. So players who are wanting to consolidation will of course face short-term challenges, which is what we're seeing right now in terms of price decline, subdued demand, etc.
So, what about the smaller players then, who have a capacity of, say, under 10 million tons per annum? Do you think that they would have to probably cash out, so that in the next few years that is going to be the only course of action?
So if you look at these smaller players which have a capacity of roughly 3 to 10 million tons, last 15 months have been very difficult for them. They're anyways bleeding, and I believe the larger players will continue to expand capacities either through grinding capacities or consolidation. So obviously, this is the right time to get good valuations for their asset and exit.
Let's understand as well what the outlook is for some of the bigger players within this space, in terms of the kind of, you were highlighting how key market share as well is going to be. So, what could the market share be over the next few years? Is it going to be just a case of 5 to 10 players that will actually continue to dominate? And what does this do to the overall pricing?
So, if you see top five players, which include Ultratech, Adani, Dalmia, Shree Cement, Nuvoco, Vistas, I think they contribute roughly around 59 to 60% of the total capacity. And going forward, the share of capacity for Ultratech and Adani will only increase, with Ultratech becoming 200 million tons and Adani with to 140 million tons. Obviously, the share for all these five companies, at least typically for these two companies, I believe this from 59% to 60, they would actually go up to as high 72 to 75% capacity share.
What kind of an outlook do you have on EBITDA per ton when it comes to some of these cement companies, and how will that be offset?
If I look at last 10 months, we've had prices declining. In fact, March exit prices declined by 5%. We see another decline, maybe another reduction of 1% in this quarter. So therefore, I think full year EBITDA per ton for the entire industry would be in the range of maybe 800 to 1000. Cost reduction would be, we could see further cost reduction of, let's say, another 8 to 10%, given benign cost of bar and fuel costs coming from petcoke and coal, which is have further declined. In fact, has actually been stable in the last 1 to 2 months. So the cost reduction, while there will be some support coming from the cost reduction, the overall EBITDA per ton for the larger players, let's say for example Ultratech, I think would be in the range of 1000 or 1100. For Adani, I think they should, if price hikes at this point of time is critical, because this is the lowest price that the industry has actually observed in 3 years. And therefore, any improvement which comes after the festivities will only improve EBITDA per ton. So maybe for Adani, despite currently there are some around 800 plus EBITDA per ton, they should be somewhere closing to 1000 EBITDA per ton. For other players, I think mostly for mid to small companies, it should be somewhere in the range of 800 to 850 per ton EBITDA for the full year.
What are channel checks indicating in terms of the demand scenario? Is that going to pick up, and what will that be led by? Will it be a mix of public and private capex?
Okay, so quarter one was a very weak quarter in terms of cement demand, even if I look at it on a YOY basis. Special also in terms of model code of conduct setting in very scattered showers across the country. Extreme heat waves. In fact, first quarter is when a lot of construction activities are halted during 12 to 4. Projects are executed during the night. But this time, even that could not happen because of the heat. Nights were quite warm compared to what it used to be. And then we had scarcity of water in this quarter. Now, second quarter, again, because of monsoons, which is traditional supply chain disruption, is what this industry observed every year. The industry is expecting an improvement post festivities. However, third quarter we'll have 80 working days, yet with the pickup in government capex. While my information says our channel check suggests that retail demand has improved. It is picking up. However, impetus has to come from government spending, and we believe that post end of or maybe third week of September, we should see government awarding projects, and therefore demand from the trade segment should pick up, and which will eventually drive prices in the third quarter. And fourth quarter is anyways a volume quarter, wherein you see huge volumes but a benign pricing environment. So overall, we see the full year growth where we had anticipated or penciled in 8.5% growth. We have sort of curtailed our numbers to 7.5% for the full year growth for FY25.
And give us a sense as to what could be some sort of the key triggers for the industry going forward. What is it that you're expecting will be some of the two big challenges and the two big triggers?
According to me, two big challenges which the industry will face this year is H1 demand degrowth could be a drag for the full year demand numbers. Second is, even if prices increases, they may just level to the quarter third FY24 numbers. Therefore, we may not see major improvements in EBITDA per tons, where we were looking at 1200, 13 EBITDA per ton, may not see those kinds of numbers. Trigger is pickup in construction, government capex, triggering good demand numbers. I think that's the only thing right now which the industry is looking at, because increase in demand, maybe a double-digit demand, would actually improve bring in price sanity, and consolidation will obviously play a very important role, because that's where the larger players will be able to determine, control or have pricing power in the industry, which will actually bring in pricing sanity in the industry.
And do you expect the industry to continue to hike prices? What's the expectation, particularly post monsoon? And how do you believe that the industry will deal with it?
So currently the prices are quite low. In fact, the industry has taken price increases last week only, to the extent of 30-40 rupees per bag in South, which have been rolled back. The industry is trying continuously to increase prices, but I believe the prices are not going to get absorbed, because during monsoon the demand is anyways muted. We expect a big increase to happen post festivities, which is after Diwali, followed by Chhath Puja. So that is actually the time after Chhath Puja where the industry will will take price hikes and wait for it to get absorbed. We believe that it is something which has been a trend. We saw it last year in the third quarter, and of FY24, and I think FY25 we'll see a similar trend, but maybe the absorption may not be to the extent that the industry is expecting. So we may not see increase of 70 or 80 rupees, which is what we saw in the East region last year. but I believe we may observe something like average 50 to 60 rupees improvement in prices in the third quarter, which will eventually, and of course supported by the benign input pricing environment.
And before we let you go, give us a sense as to what would be some of the top recommendations according to you within the cement sector, large cap and mid cap.
Our top picks in the large cap is Ambuja Cement, followed by Ultratech. Mid cap, we are positive on Ramco, and in small caps, we like companies like Birla Corp and JK Lakshmi.
All right, it's been a pleasure interacting with you. Thank you so much for sharing with us your outlook on the entire cement sector.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon to never miss an update from Nirmal Bang.